since I got my half shafts in the mail, it is time to prep them for installing in my Traxxas Summit. So what I have to do is take the hardware that was on the old shafts and clean them up, because as you can see there is some rust, just a thin surface of rust around the bearing area and around the shaft here, and I just need to clean that up a bit to make a clean install for the new shafts, because I want them to be done right. And this is how we're going to do it. Now, all of them are done the same way, whether they're long or short. And the only difference is the long and short is where you place them on the truck. And we'll get to that. But for now, we're just going to prep them for installing them. So, we'll start with one. And I've already taken one sort of apart in order to start this. But you take 400 grit sandpaper, okay, and that's good enough to take just that thin surface rust off without taking away any meat off the thing. And we're going to be very gentle, just clean it up so it's nice and clean with no rust. And like so. Doesn't take much at all. So what we do is we take this, put it back through where it was, and then we take the half shaft, and the front part that I just cleaned up goes on this front area here, closest to this pillow ball here. So we have to take this little eyeball, make sure it's centered, and put it in so that we can see through to the other side of the half shaft. And then we take the pin and we put it back in through the half shaft. It's a little tight because it's brand new. It's in there. There we go. Okay. See, now the pin is through both sides. So now we pinch it this way so that the pin can't move anymore. And we expose where the grub screw goes. Now I put anti-seize on the grub screw. And the reason I'm doing that is so that nothing in there gets rusted shut. And when I need to do more maintenance, I'll be able to take it out. No problem. Things will work the way they're supposed to work. Now this grub screw needs to be snugged right up. You don't want this thing backing out on you, or you're going to lose the pin on the trails. That's not a good idea. Those are little things to hide outside. So make sure it's snugged up. And it's got some movement there, as you can see. It's moving, but it's done securely. Now, today I am going to be installing just the front half shafts on my truck, because the rear still needs the diff to be rebuilt before I can install the shafts on the back one. So this is just the front we're going to do today. So from here, I guess we'll just go to the next shaft and clean it up, etc. So as I said, the long shaft and the short shaft are done the same way. I guess I should put the back one on here and keep it, do one shaft all together. So, wrong side, hello. So again, you take out the grub screw. Now the back end we don't need to clean up so much, because There isn't a lot to it. This has got the big shaft sticking out that gets the rust. So on the back, you just line it up again so you can see through. And install the pin back through to connect the two pieces. All in the way you hold your mouth, folks. I'm sure that's it. Okay, there we go. The pin is all the way through on the back. And then we expose the area where the grub screw goes. And again, we're just going to coat the grub screw threads with Never Seize. Same theory applies. We need to do any maintenance or anything. We want this to be able to come back out with no problems, no rust, holding it in there. And tighten it quite a bit. Make sure it's snug so it's not going to back off. And the back moves. Now before I install these on the truck, I'm going to be putting Never Seize in both sides on the slots here that you can see. Again, for the same purpose. It's just to keep things clean in there and workable. So there's one axle. There's one. Now that is 55, so this is a short one. And we're going to need a short and a long to the front today. But that is how you do one of them. So I'm going to stop the video here and I'm going to prep the rest of the axles together with all the half shafts and prep them, and I'll be right back to show you where to put them on the truck. And I'm back. I have put all the axles together now and got them all organized as to short and long so that I know what I'm doing. And now we come to putting them back on the truck. Now my situation's a little different because of the way we got the truck. Kev had to take it apart to find out what parts we needed. So the axles aren't installed in the truck, so I can't show you that, taking them off of them. So, but I can show you how to take apart the pieces and reassemble. So, first you're going to take these little plastic, little rubber plugs. They're installed in there on each side. And all you do is you take a screwdriver or one of your Allen wrenches, whatever, pull them out. Okay, they're just there for moisture. Then you take a 5mm and you insert it in here. And whoop, it was sitting on the battery. Okay. And what you want to do is pull these out, little black plastic things. And the little, it's like a crown, that points out, so if you remember that. So we'll take both of those out with the 5mm. And like so. There they are. And then if the if the axle was in here, you'd be taking your hex hub off of the axle because it mounts through this hole here. So you'd be taking this off in order to be able to remove the axle, you know. On we go. Now, for the other pieces in there, ball, you have a 2.5 millimeter, I believe. Yes, it is. 2.5 millimeter wrench, and you have to pardon my head, I gotta see where I am here though. Back these out evenly, the same way you put them back on. They've got to go on evenly, so a little bit at a time each side, and that way they don't bind. Things go back together the way they should, rather than being too stiff on one side and giving you grief. So, what I'm going to do is take apart this side just to show you how to disassemble this whole thing. And I'm going to reassemble the other side. I've already got it pulled apart and prepped. And here we go. So you just lay that aside because it's still attached over here. And there you go. You're all open. So, let's go ahead and switch this truck around so that I can show you how to reassemble. Now, well, I got it right here. Stop for a second and show you the difference in the long and the short half shafts. The front right is a long half shaft, and the rear left is a long half shaft. And then, again, these are opposites, so long, long, short over here on the front left. Front left will be short, and the rear right will be short. So it's long, long, short, short. So it's a diagonal thing. As long as you remember this one is long on the front right, you can sort out what the other ones are in your brain when you're trying to do this yourself. So now that I've got that side apart, I've got this side already prepped. It's already apart. So what we're going to do is take the long half shaft, because this is the front right, and we're going to orient this little stub here so it's facing up for the hole. And I have to take is it a 2.5 with this one, I think. No, 2 millimeter to pull this grub screw out of this end, the back end of the half shaft. Now, what I want to do again is I'm going to use Never Seas, because I want to be able to fix this if I need to, and that means it's got to come apart again. So to avoid any dust, etc. Getting in the threads and jamming it up and making it really, really nasty to move. We'll do this. Now, things are lined up in here. The holes are aligned. So I take my screw and I lose it in there. Okay. There we go. However you're gonna do it, folks. You'll find a way. See? There you go. Now it's in. And I tighten it up. Just snug.
A little more.
A little more?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Nice and snug.
That's good. So now we got it installed. Yay! Okay, so next you take, again, the never sees and you coat the whole end here so that it'll glide through the bearing hole here. It's the first time doing it, guys. So, and you take and line up, first of all, line up the top. There's 2.5. This is the one. Line up the top end for the ball. And just start threading that in. And then move to the bottom and line that up and start it. Again, like I said, you got to do it evenly so that it goes back together like it should and doesn't bind and doesn't give you grief. Okay, a little bit on the other one. Keep working away until you get them seated back in place. Catch up with this one. Back and forth. Kind of like when you change a tire on a car and you do the cross pattern just to make sure it's all even so it doesn't warp everything. So, same kind of idea.
Stuff good on its own?
Yeah, I think it's stuff good. Yeah. Just got Kevy in the background here helping me remember the steps.
Okay.
Good?
That's good.
Oh, it has a little more, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I was just getting it up. Okay?
Perfect.
So, you just want it to stop on its own, so you don't over tighten that because, yeah, it's not good.
Strip the threads inside the arm.
Yeah, strip the threads inside the arm. You don't want to do that. Okay, so next, we have to reinstall these little black plastic thingies. I don't know what they're called. Just know where they go. Now when it comes to installing these, just hand start them, make sure they're not going to cross thread or anything. You want them to start properly on their own. And then use your 5mm wrench and just to where they stop, and then back them off just a smidge. You want solid contact, but you don't want it to be too tight. And combined. So again, I'll start this by hand, make sure it's going to thread right. And use an Allen key to get in there. Okay, can you check this, please? Just want to make sure I'm doing it right, guys.
Stop.
And then you back it off just a bit.
Pinch. There. Good.
No play. And the
Hex hubs.
yeah,
Yeah.
the hex hubs. Well, yeah, you could put the little plug thingies in there, but hex hub first, I guess.
For those who want to know how to put a hex plug in, let me show
Yes.
you quick. She's never done this, so I'll
No.
show you. Take a fine, like screwdriver, whatever. In this case, a little wrench. Pop that in there, and then just kind of feed it around a bit, and then push and twist, and it'll sit flat. Boom, and done. There you go, guys.
I did say Kev was going to show me the Summit, how to repair things and stuff. So this is a learning curve for me too, guys. Anyway, so now that it's in and properly seated, we're going to want to install the hex hub. There we go. Take the pin out. We've got our good old friend Never Sees on there. Every step of the way, guys. It's got to be able to come back apart for further maintenance or whatnot. And you don't want it to because some of that came out when I put it through the bearing. I'll just recoat a little bit so that it doesn't seal to the hex hub. Because apparently they can. So, so it doesn't collapse in on me. There we go. We're all lined up. And we reinsert through the hex hub. I thought we were lined up, maybe not. This is trickier than it looks. Yes, it is. Okay, obviously it's not lined up. Just 1 second. Okay. There we go. And there we go. There we go. Now it's coming through. Nice. Okay. Now, when you tighten these on, you want to go until it stops naturally and not reef on this thing. don't tighten the grout screw on the hex hub too tight. It's got to stop on its own and basically just come flush on the other side and maybe protrude like a little bit of hair, not very far, because you don't want these things to weld themselves to the shaft. Okay. And apparently they can do that. Okay. Need your hand one more time, Jeff, please. I swear it's lined up, but it's not.
You're on the wrong side. On the wrong side of the hole. Go back on.
Okay.
He's got the hole. Wrong hole.
Oh, okay. Apparently I got the wrong hole. It's got to be the threaded side. There we go. Okay.
That's it.
There we go.
Don't over tighten that screw or
No, don't over tighten.
it'll stay. The wheel's on there, it is not gonna come out.
Yep.
If you over tighten those screws and you don't use number C's, you're not getting it out, you'll be cutting your axle off.
Yeah. We've already run into that once. So, anyway, I hope you've learned as much as I have today. Thanks, Kev, for the help. And yeah, so I'll continue on and I'll do the other side off camera. But at least this one, it's back together, and everything else is done the same way. So you've seen one, you've seen them all. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.